Benjamin Netanyahu came up with a statement on Sunday evening that many in Israel, including in the security establishment, consider it to be increasing the tensions when it comes to the ceasefire and potentially preventing it from happening. He published 5 principles, according to him, for the ceasefire, and some of them do not exist in the ceasefire deal, in accordance to reports that we've had both from Israel and from the Palestinian side as well. He said there are 5 principles. 1. Any deal will allow Israel to return and fight until all the goals of the war are achieved. 2. It will not be possible to smuggle weapons from Hamas from Egypt to Gaza. It will not be possible to smuggle weapons to Hamas from Egypt to Gaza alongside the borders and what is labeled as the Philadelphia corridor. 3. The return of thousands of armed terrorists to the north of the Gaza Strip will not be possible. 4. Israel will maximize the number of live hostages that will be returned from Hamas captivity. And 5. The outline that it was agreed upon for Israel and received the blessing of President Biden will allow Israel to return abductees without harming the other goals of the war. There are a couple of things in his 5 principles that contradict what we've heard so far when it comes to the ceasefire agreement, particularly number 1 and 3. Any deal will allow Israel to return and fight until all of the goals are achieved. That's something that Benjamin Netanyahu can argue later on. However, that's something that will not be existing in the actual ceasefire deal itself. Number 3 as well, the return of thousands of armed fighters to the north of Gaza Strip will not be possible. Hamas are confirming that they don't want Israel to exist in any part of Gaza, including in the Netzarim line, that control the movement of the people north from the south of Gaza. That's another thing that hasn't been confirmed, and Netanyahu is stating it. This statement received criticism first and foremost from the people who are concerned with the negotiation in Israel and people in the security establishment. One of them, who spoke on the basis of anonymity, said that if you're going to release a statement such as this, then there's no point of the negotiation. Now we're at a stage where they are discussing the fine details of the ceasefire agreement to reach it, yet Benjamin Netanyahu is coming up with this statement. Why is he coming up with this statement, and is he trying to hinder it? We had a track record of Benjamin Netanyahu coming up with statements that hinder the ceasefire agreement to protect his position. However, with this statement, there are 2 options. Number 1, he could be potentially trying to hinder it so that he can remain in power, or if he hasn't agreed the day after when it comes to his position as a prime minister. 2, he could be sending this message to his base. He wants to send a message to his base that before we agree on anything, I already told you, it will allow us to return to fight, and we will control who goes in and out, alongside some other details, like, for example, the channeling weapons, something that Israel will never have control of because they don't know where they're coming from exactly. And he wants to pacify them before he reaches an agreement to support his base. How fierce will he be when it comes to this being implemented, or will this affect the negotiations moving forward? That's something that we're going to see in the next couple of days, and if there will be a certain formula that all parts agree on, and whether we will see a ceasefire agreement coming into effect or not.